Philippians 4:5-6. The Lord is near, and don't be anxious about anything. Don't even worry about it. We don't need to worry about it. He's near. You ask him for things, ask, believe, and receive, and it will come to pass. You don't have to worry about your finances and this going on and things. You just try to put together the best way you can through this inflation. Just go slowly and think, and sometimes don't go hastily into that thing. Okay, don't sit there and go, I'm gonna pay this right quick and I'm gonna pay this. Have a strategy to do things. If you have a strategy, you can go back and look at it, write it down, type it, put it on the computer. What did I do wrong? What do I need to change? If we had kept track of what was going on, we wouldn't be in this situation right now with our finances. If we had kept track, all you got to do is just keep track. What happened? What's going on? If you don't have a budget, write it on a calendar, write it on a piece of paper. What are you doing? What is your strategy to get out? And don't pick up a bunch of hard goals for next year. Those goals that are unattainable right now because you don't have the finances for it. Okay? You may dream. You're allowed to dream. Dream of the new house. Dream of the new car. But get the steps. How much money do I need? Some of you need to research that. How much money is it for that house? How much money is it to rent that apartment? To lease that car? To buy those clothes? To do anything? How much do the kids need? We need to do an organization of our mind and strategy and go at it really positive and pray that it's going the right way and take it slow. Do 1 month at a time if you have to. Go back, look at the budget. I look at my budget all the time. The minute I get up in the morning, and it changes. My mind changes. This budget does not stay the same. There's a lot of pieces of paper that go into this budget that gets thrown into the trash that I'm playing basketball with. Because things change. Life changes every day. And we have to accept that fact. We have a exciting life. And we need to be happy with it. And things are not going to work out all the time. We have to struggle, and we know we're going to struggle to get to the end goal of meeting God. We do know that's what the end goal is. We have to love people. We got to learn. We got to get together. But some of the struggles we have with money, he's watching because we did that to ourselves. You overextended. You thought you could pay it back on time. You got the wrong loan. You got the car that costs too much. You got the house that's upside down in payments is less than what you started with. You bought the highest house and now it's the lowest to sell. Nobody wants to buy it at that high price that you put it. And so, we have to think what's going to go on in the future and how am I not going to make those mistakes again. So today I thought I'd come on here and talk about stock. Now I do have stock. My mom had told me don't ever buy stock. Don't ever buy stock. But you got to think people of color, they didn't know about stock. It was written in the newspaper and they had these little lines going across. And it took I remember our paper we had when I was little, and I'd look at it and I would say, what is that? And she says the stock pages. And it took 2 or 3 pages. It was going in these little bitty, tiny, tiny. This is big. It was tiny, tiny, and they were right behind each other, and you didn't know a thing. They had the abbreviation for the stock. You didn't know what the abbreviation was. I sat there and looked at it one day, just intently trying to figure it out. I was little. I think I was 5 or something. I'm sitting there what is this mess, And there was nobody there to teach us. You know, there was nobody there. They knew nothing about it. They didn't. It was like, don't bother. You know. And then they saw, of course, on TV, people losing things that did know about stock or whatever, and it was like, that's not a good investment for us. So a lot of people of color, they did not try to invest in stock. Nobody taught them. Nobody came up to them and say da da dee da dee. Now my mom did have somebody she worked for, and he did say, it was a company that started up, and he says, if you got $1,000, invest in this company. Well, she scraped together her little $1,000, and she went on and invested in the company. It wasn't it was stock in a way, and he put it in for her, and she held on to it. I know she still got it, she said, and she takes care of it, but I know it's for us. It was for me, you know, when she got it, but she never invested in anything else for quite a while until I said, well, I'm going to try one. You know, I just wanted to try one stock. And I had gotten with Apple. And so now, since they've seen how to do it and what to do and their intuition, my parents have gotten into stock. You know, they don't do a lot of it, but they got enough that they can, you know, they see the difference, the ins and outs. And sometimes you have to have somebody tell you what to do, you know, or you research what to do. You know, so a lot of these stock companies, you know, that handle stock, like, well, Ameritrade went in with Charles Schwab, but some of the E-Trade and them, they have little classes on there about stock and everything. And I know some of you have stock and you got little dividends. Some of them just starting out with the little smaller stock. You put $5 in, but you're still part of that trend. You know, you get more money, put more money in, you get more money. You're like part of the ownership of the stock. So I've been doing this for probably 4 years. Probably during the pandemic is when I really started. Nothing to do. You know, it's like, okay. And so, but this year I'm going to invest more. You know, I put money in it and it's automatically going in it, but I want to focus more on it. What I was doing before, I was really focusing. Now, stock can be affected by a lot of things, and that's why, you know, my parents did not want to deal with stock. It could be war. It could be a CEO stepping down. It could just be people talking. Okay, it could be anything going on. It could be the hedge funds. It could be Reddit. It could be anybody. And you know, somebody could say something and all of a sudden it tumbles. You know, we've watched that. Some of the CEOs of companies have said something and it goes flying down, or people have pulled out. You know, a lot of the banks have stock and they pull their money out, all of a sudden people do, and then it goes tumbling down. So a lot of things affect stock. And it's people running the stock, it just affects it, it just flies down, you know, what's going on. But these are some of the ones that I have. I have a little more than 10, but I'm just going to put the 10 down here and I'm not a financial planner. I'm going to tell you that, because I can tell you when stocks fall, sometimes I hurry up and grab my money out. I see it, I'm going, nope. You know, if it keeps on rolling down, nope. You know, I watch the colors too. It's like green, go, red, stop. You know, you see the colors going, and I listen to the news, like what's going on with the person. And some of them I'm real steady. I want steady stock. I know they're going to fall. You know, somebody's going to say something, somebody's going to do something, and they're just going to fall, you know. Anybody can say something. Another country can do something and they fall. I mean, it's just, or they merge with each other. You know, companies merge and go together and then they fall. You know, like this morning, I think Japan Steel Company is buying U.S. Steel, supposedly. I don't know if they are doing it, but they were getting all the things together. They were doing it. And so, you know, that it may rise and it may fall, but it may rise. So we don't know, right? So, you know, I'm not an investment planner. I just go by gut and reading. You know, research and reading goes a long way. And I listen to people when I go to meetings, you know, and they're people that got stock and know what's going on. And I just listen, you know, ears do quite well sometime. And then I go back and research whether I want to be bothered. And some of it, like I said, is gut feeling. Some of it, I just like the person that's running it. They've got a track record, and they've been doing fine. They're billionaires. I'm not trying to be a billionaire. It's like the lottery. Okay? That's what I equate it to. It's like you might make money and you might not. So like I said, I'm not a financial planner. Do not sit there and go, I'm going to go buy that stock and then it falls, because it might fall. Okay? Because, you know, Cash Bear Mama said, you know, I'm not one of them ones that do all that. This was my personal portfolio. So the first one that I have, well, the first one that I have right now is Microsoft. And the only reason I got Microsoft, because one thing, he's been around a while, you know, and he's investing in AI and, you know, and all this stuff, Bill Gates. And I just like the guy. I don't have a rhyme or reason sometimes. It's just sometimes you like people. No, I don't know him. Not trying to know him. Okay, and everything. So, okay. This one, stock, like I said, I read a lot. It just seems to be, it may go under. We don't know, but right now, that's one of mine, the Invesco QQQ Trust. Okay. And some of them, they have abbreviations. I forgot what Invesco was, but they have abbreviations on the stock market. And after a while, after you get to doing it, you'll actually start looking at, like when I see this, I know this is Microsoft type thing. Apple. Now, Apple's gone up and down on me. I got mad at them and I pulled out and I come back, but they're stable. They're still there. Apple's been around a long time, and you know they're going to go up when they introduce their new phone. You know it's going to go up. And so I've been with them a while. And you also have to pay taxes on your stock. So think about all that stuff that's going on. Now, this one I mess up the pronunciation. I hear other people messing it up too. But I call it NVIDIA. And I hope that's right, but may not be. And I came across them. Now, my kids knew all about them, because what did they do? They game. You know, I'm a gamer. I like to play games. And I taught them to be gamers. And that's their new job that they do. They get paid for it. But they knew more about this. Oh, yeah, we know about that. Yeah, we know about that. So that's part of that gaming thing. But you got to think they're involved in that. People are involved in that. And so it's one of the bigger companies that I like. Okay. The next one, of course, is Amazon. And its abbreviation, if you need it, but it'll pop up. You type in the name and they pop up. Okay, Amazon, you know, people may not care for Amazon, blah, 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 but it's steady for me. It stays right there. It seems to be a long-term company. That's what I want. I want you to be long-term. I want you to be there still. Okay, in 10 years, you're going to be there, right? Okay, that's what I look for. You're going to be there, okay? Stay there, okay? Okay, the next one that I got is Alphabet. Alphabet is Google. Okay, that's really Google. Or you look up Google. So, you know, they've been there. You know, been there a long time. You know, YouTube, all that. That's Google, okay? And they call it Alphabet, and I think it's called Google without the E on it. but I have to look that up. I can't remember. The next one is Vanguard. Vanguard's like a company that is an umbrella over other companies. So you know, if you want a bunch of companies under there, that's Vanguard picking up. And they got different types of things, like they got Vanguard Mortgage Trust and all this other stuff. But mine's just Vanguard. I try to stay with it. But if you want to look down there and see Blackstone, and you hear a lot about Blackstone, and especially from, you know, people that, I think the younger generation, Blackstone owns the world. You know, I remember that one coming, and my kids asking me, do they own the world? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like they run the world, you know, but they're very powerful company, you know, and they have different things underneath them. Some of these can be pricey because, you know, they're big companies. Let's see, the other one that has, now this is one of my new ones, and I've been watching, and I watch a lot of MSNBC, those ticker tape things, and then watch them go up and down, and I keep track of them. Snowflake, and their name is Snow. And they seem, this is my newest one, but they seem to be steady. They've been steady for over a year. I watched them. But, you know, like I said, they all go up and down. And Berkshire Hathaway, he broke some of his stock up. Some of it was up there that, you know, you had to be up in the billions and millions to get it. And then he broke it up to there's a smaller one there for people to get under Warren Buffett. So those are some of my ones that I consider steady, that I'm not worried about. Yes, they do go down. You know, somebody says something, boom. You know, I watched Apple just plummet when, you know, I was like, I think it was last year, it was just going down. I get mad and I yank it out because, you know, last year I told you my money was just, I couldn't invest like I wanted to invest. And I was like, you can't stay in there. You know, and I just kind of pulled it back into the, I had Ameritrade at the time, which went with Charles Schwab, and I just pulled it back and got it out of there, because it, you know, just because somebody said something or something they invent does not go well, or, you know, Pfizer had trouble with that, you know, it would go up and down, you know, or they invent something, you know. So, you know, watch what you're doing if you're going to do it. And I'm going to tell you again, I didn't tell you to get these. You go research, you know, and I just said invest more for me. You know, I just wanted to show you what do I do right now. Like I said, I got some other ones that are on there, and some that I'm watching new, like Steel Dynamics is new for me, and Snowflake is new for me. So just watch what you're doing when you're investing. You're trying to make more wealth otherwise, and make sure first you pay off your debts. Okay, don't go flying over there thinking money's gonna come back to you. It might. Okay, it's a gamble. It's like the lottery. You know, you play in the lottery, you're playing all your bill money in the lottery, and then you may not win. You know, you may put $400 or $500 of your bill money in there, and you may not get nothing back. It could, all the tickets could be zero. Okay, so this is kind of the same thing. Keep it on that same level if you intend to do something like this. And I would suggest make sure everything's paid off and you got some little extra money, and take your time and just try one. I just tried Apple when I first started. I held on to Apple, and like I said, I went up and down with them, and but I saw they were steady. They were still here, and no matter if they did go down, I knew you're going to come up, because you're going to invent something, you're going to do something, and boom, you're going to come up, you know. And I don't listen to people, oh, they're not good, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes people are mad at people. My son, there's another company that I'm at, and he can't stay in the company. Don't tell, my daughter said, don't tell him that company. He can't, he can't stand them. So, but they are great. They're steady. They keep going. I'd never heard of them. Then when they told them where it was at, I said, okay, I know who they are now. But they're steady. I want something steady. If you may fall a little bit. It's just like a person, a friend or something. I want you steady. Things may go bad. There may be a struggle, but you're still there. And that's what you got to look for if you're going to try to do stock. And if you don't have any money, don't do it right now. Maybe you want to do the little smaller stock like Cash Rich Mama does, and some of you do. I did that before when I first started because I didn't know anything about stock. And then I said I want to go with, a company, and I had chose Ameritrade, which I told you got merged or bought by Charles Schwab. And then, there's other companies that do this, E-Trade, and, there's big ones and stuff. This is day trading on your own without somebody, or you can get advice from those companies. They have classes on there. So do your due diligence if you're going to do this. Study, read. Don't just leave it on there and then you get mad because picked the wrong one, or you didn't read, or you didn't have time. It's something that's not hard to do, but if you're doing day trading, you need to pay attention to what you're doing. And some of it is just gut, or some of it you just like the people. I like to look at Warren Buffett, and sometimes he makes me mad, and I'm like, I don't want to talk to you anymore, but I still got to stop. So, I don't want to hear about it. Don't tell me nothing. And then other times he got the greatest advice in the world, and I know he does, and I'm sitting there going, and like I said, Apple makes mistakes. Amazon makes mistakes, and you just sitting there going, really? And they stock may go down, but it comes back up, so I'm okay. Just stay steady. That's all I want. I want you to stay steady. And I look back over the years. How did you grow? You went, you can go on those sites and see what they made in a year, what they did 5 years ago. When did they come in? Now, I'm kind of iffy for new, I have did a new stock, and like they just starting out, and they went up okay. I was following them during that time when they were starting that day, and some of them plummeted. You had to grab your money out of there like, I can't do this, bye. And some of them would go back up later on, but, those are iffies, the IPO things, and you just have to watch who's strong and who's coming in there. Some of those IPOs are strong. Can you think if you had invested in Amazon even during the pandemic? And you would think if you invested in Amazon when it first started, but it was a startup, and a lot of people didn't, and a lot of people did. And some startups make people more money, and millionaires and whatever. So but be careful, because I know in this community, a lot of people, you don't have the money. Take your time. Don't sit there and go, I need 10 stock. No, you don't. You just started. You just started. Go look at Katie of the house, in the house of the house. Her husband, he has a gut feeling. He'll go, I like that stock, but watch how steady they are. You can do the S&P 500, which is like Vanguard, and them are like the coverall of that, of the stocks. I call them umbrella. And get one of those. Just take your time and see what they're saying about the S&P. I listen about the S&P. I do have that they're steady. I hear people, on TV, they're steady. I listen to the experts and what's going on, because I'm not an expert. I'm just your lonely cash bear over here. I'm not lonely, believe me. I don't know what alone time is. There's somebody here all the time, like my guinea pigs running around looking at me thinking they should eat again. Guinea pigs love to eat. Remember that. So if you're getting a guinea pig, remember they eat. Have to put them on a time schedule. But anyway, I'm getting off of here. I hope you are having a blessed day and you are not anxious about anything. Don't sit there and worry, because we are going to make it. Make sure you read my shout outs and follow some of those people. Some people I repeat on there because they need more subscribers. They did get their watch hours, maybe, but they don't have enough subscribers, and I think YouTube changed it, of course. I don't think I know, but I remember them saying it. But, you know, $500, 500 subscribers for, you know, to get monetized, and you have to have, you know, so many watch hours for that. And then, you know, the ultimate final thing is the 1,000 subscribers. So, you know, help somebody out, you know, this holiday if you like. Help them out, and they don't have to be a cash stuffer or anything else. They don't have to be stock market. They don't have to be. It's just another person that needs a subscriber. And if you need a subscriber, subscribe. You know, most of them will subscribe back. You know, so you don't know who you're getting. It may be a musician that's interested in you. It may be somebody else. But, you know, take your time and subscribe back. And most of them will. They just want to watch and see what's going on. They may not say anything. My mom subscribed. She didn't say a word. She's got, I don't know how many cash stuffing subscribers. She's not asking you to subscribe, but she just subscribes, okay? She looks at it and blah, 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 or I'll tell her, look at this one over here. And she enjoys looking at it. And she says, I learned a lot of things watching these people. You know, what to do and what not to do, okay? But she subscribes. My dad has a channel. He subscribes. My kids subscribe to your channel. They do not. They started cash stuffing because they do have envelopes, but they don't do that. They are gamers on their channels, and, you know, you're missing the opportunity if they do subscribe because they will subscribe back to you. So you may be missing the opportunity for some people, and that's why I put them on there. And some people I repeat because they are close to their subscriber limit. They can get there. And it's like they're still sitting there, and they may have 700, and it's like, we're still here. Or I look back and they got 343 or 4, and they're still at 343. I come back like 4 weeks later or a month, and I'm like, you got a great channel, you know, and what's going on here? But, you know, we know jealousy gets in there. We got, you know, little devils floating all over the place, and we just got to pray and pray for those people. So, you know, check that little number by their name and see, can you be the next subscriber? You know, can you, you know, sometimes you don't have to say anything. I don't say anything. Sometimes I just hit the like button and move on and whatever. And okay, I'm here. And sometimes I don't say anything. I subscribe and I hit the like button and I move on, but I keep them they're on my subscriber list. And then I try to shout them out to tell them, yes, I did subscribe. You know, I'm here, you know, for you. And I did that this morning with some of them. But I am going to get out of here because this is way too long for me, okay? And I am changing my schedule for next year. I'm doing a whole lot of things, a whole lot of shakings going on over here. So take care. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you to my old subscribers, new subscribers, and those even in between that you can't figure out whether to stay or not. But you can stay. We'll take you in. This is the Bear Den country, okay? Cash Bear Mama. Take care, everybody. Like and subscribe, everybody else, and do what you got to do. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.